Carolina.
Hey guys, welcome to the call.
Brooks, Iowa.
Hey Bob.
Lori Garrett's from Iowa.
All right. Welcome everyone. I want you guys to get ready. We're about to kick off in about 1 minute. Hey, Luke. Congratulations, my friend. Good job.
Yours is louder than mine.
Okay, guys, if you are not meaning to be on microphone, why don't you go ahead and hit your mute button so you can drown out all that background noise?
Good morning, Pastor Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is Joe from Las Vegas.
Hey, Joe from Las Vegas. Welcome to the call. Radio people and ads and platform. We're getting all types of good stuff this morning.
Yeah, we had to take it to the house. My wife actually cooks with it.
All right, guys. If you are not meaning to be on microphone, why don't you press that mute button on the bottom of your screen, and let's get some of that background noise cut down.
A disaster where I would just say, hey, it's either I gotta drink this on. Yeah, I'm dehydrated. Yeah. So you from Pennsylvania? No, I'm not. But I'm a diehard Steelers fan. Oh, okay. Yes, indeed. I'm a quarterback this year, man. That's horrible what happened.
Hey, Ricky, do me a favor. Put your call on mute for me, brother.
Hey, it's a violent sport, but hey, I'd rather watch it than participate in the activity. Right. It's good when everything's going your way.
All right, guys. Well, John Cena is running just a little bit late this morning. He's got the master code to mute everyone out. So I cannot mute out all these people that are talking in the background.
Listen, really, it's so helpful. It's really
That's very unfortunate. Don't worry about it. Everett Arnold from Athens, Georgia, home of the Bulldogs.
All right, Bulldogs in the house.
How you doing, Chaplain? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Lord, that's excellent.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get this call started. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I want to welcome you to our Saturday morning Zoom training. This call is primarily designed to train people who are already premium members of our Nexus Reward family. Ricky, brother, I'm going to have to get you to put that on mute, my friend. I cannot overtalk you. All right, let's hope we can keep the background noise to a minimum. As I was saying, this call is primarily for people who are already premium members. If you're a guest here, we welcome you as well. What I'd like you to do is to get a pen and some paper, a pencil, a crayon, a Sharpie, a piece of charcoal to draw on your wall. But I want you to take some notes. We are going to get some fantastic information today. We've got a special guest who's going to actually give us some step-by-step training.
I'm not sure where he asked you.
I wish I had the master code to mute everybody out. I'm going to ask you one more time. If you are not talking on this call, please press the mute button. And that would be fantastic. That everybody wouldn't hear all your personal business. But get yourself comfortable, get locked in. We're going to transition to our special guest in just a moment, and I hope that you are having a good week. We've talked a lot about mindset over the last few weeks, and I want to remind you this morning that so much of life is about a mindset. I don't know how you start your day, go through your day, or end your day, but I hope you are doing something to make an investment in your personal well-being mentally. I hope that you are walking around with a thankful heart, with an attitude of gratitude. I hope you're investing in your positivity, investing in your business. I can promise you this. I've seen people make it in this industry, and I've seen people who didn't make it in this industry. And it's just like Henry Ford said, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you are right either way. And I want you to have a positive mindset about what we're doing, because one thing is for sure, we are in the right place at the right time. We've got a great company. We've got great ownership, and we have got almost a no cost, I'll call it a low cost opportunity here that we can share with the world. And I hope that you are doing that. There have been several different ideas about how much you can share. We've heard all the way from the massive optimist Bruce, who's talked about getting 1,000 people on Rakuten. We've heard Art talk about go out and share with 2 people a day or 50 people a day. I just want to remind you today that if you'll do just a little bit more than you've done before, you'll get a little bit more back than you got back before. We live in a world, it doesn't matter to me what your religion is, what your ideological bent is, what your philosophical bent is. There is just a truth that works for everybody. I've shared it with you before. In the Bible, they tell you you reap what you sow. In the country, they tell you what goes around comes around. Universalists will tell you that what you put out into the universe will come back to you. But it is just a stone cold fact. If you are putting out the right effort, good things are going to happen to you. I read a book every day that tells me not to get tired of doing the right thing, for in just the right time, my harvest will come in. And I believe that happens for people who do the right work. If things aren't working for you in this business right now, I want to tell you, stay the course. Persistence wins. And if you keep putting forth the right effort, you are going to get back the right reward. So, having said that, I want to go ahead and kick this over to our presenter and the master trainer of the whole world, Mr. John Cena. Are you on the call, John? I do not see John out there, but that's okay. We will keep proceeding with him. Let me remind you that we are running out of time on our contest for Christmas in July. We put out a text that everybody can send to anybody on the planet to get $30 as a Christmas in July gift. And first place is going to pay $100. Second place is going to pay $50, and third place is going to pay $25. Those are not huge amounts, but it's a lot of fun to do it. And I hope that you have been sending out that text, inviting, referring a friend to Rakuten. When those $30 checks start coming in, Rakuten sends you a message that says cha-ching. And it's funny and it's something fun to do. But I know this for sure. If you can get some of your free members to see some benefit in our company, that's going to encourage them to upgrade to free. And one of the things that all the leaders are talking about, from Art and Rob to people just getting into the business brand new, is how are we going to convert all of these free members to premium members? And I've been telling you guys from the start, all these free members are just premium members in waiting. They are going to be premium members. They just don't know it yet because they haven't seen enough of the opportunity for them to plug in. But they are going to plug in as soon as we can show them how to get value from this. And one of the quickest ways to show your free members how to get value from this is that $30 from Rakuten. And I can't say enough about it. And it's not the amount of money, it's the psychological switch that flips in their brain when they see, oh, wow, this thing that Scott's talking about does work. This thing that Joe or Bill is talking about does work. And it's going to give them a positive feeling about our company. And when you have people calling you up saying, hey, that thing from Rakuten worked, what else do you guys have? Then you're not selling, then you're just sharing. And that makes it easy for them to convert. And we want to see your free members become premium members. And this is a great way to do it. It's not the only way to do it. But I tell you, if you just do a little bit of work, you're going to get a little results. If you do a lot of work, you're going to get a lot of results. So we're looking for some people to take massive action here. I see my good friend John Cena has jumped on the call. John, we've been waiting on you, my friend. why don't you say good morning to everyone and tell us what we've got going on at Nexus Rewards?
Good morning. Thank you for getting us started. I'm going to go ahead and mute the lines here. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm a little tardy. Coming in fresh off of the football field. So, I'm looking my best today, but I'm feeling my best. That's all that matters, right? All right, Scott, I think you can unmute. All right, there we go. Good to go. All right, so we got a special treat for you this morning. And can you hear me okay, Scott?
Yes, fantastic.
All right, great. So we've got Bob Brooks on with us this morning. And Bob, I'm sure you are ready to roll, right? First thing in the morning? You're muted. Can you unmute too?
Ready to roll.
Awesome. Great. All right, Bob's up in Iowa. And Bob is a longtime networker, veteran. He knows a good thing when he sees it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't mind just giving us a quick recap, everybody got a quick taste of your background on the Tuesday night call. But if you don't mind just giving a little reprise of that, give everyone a little on your background, your experience here. You've been with Nexus pretty much since day one. And I think I botched it last time. I had the wrong branch of service. Pardon me. That's definitely a criminal violation. But 21-year Navy retiree. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. Yep.
All right. We're running hot on all cylinders here this morning. So yeah, if you would just share, how long you've been in here, why you're excited, and you're right around the corner from One Star, right?
Right around the corner. Gonna hit it here next week. So we're really excited. So it's all going well. But yeah, I started network marketing back in mid 80s. The old fashioned way where you went through your family and friends, made your list of 100 and called them all, tried to get them to meetings.
Progress.
And you just do what you could to get people to meetings. And when you ran out of the family and friends, you were supposed to go around, just meet people, drag them off the mall, parking lots, things like that. And well, for a guy like me,
hey, you over there.
Very insecure.
Get in here with us.
I was very insecure, and it was one of those things where I couldn't do that. And then online came and the internet, and I thought this was the way to do it, and thought it'd be a lot easier, and started sending out advertisements, solo ads, safe list, traffic exchanges, and I was trying to build a business that way. And it never really worked. And what I want to show today, it really solves everybody's problem, because I think we get the cart before the horse. And I want to set the table a little bit here, because in the past, I was always trying to bring people into network marketing or into a company that I really didn't know, and trying to hope they make it. Well, over the time, and I think I said this on Tuesday, I realized when I looked at people that were really making it happen and the people that were struggling like myself, these people over here had a big network. They had a lot of people they knew. And you'd say, oh man, they know all those people. I don't know that many people. That's why I'm struggling. And that was my aha moment when I realized, well, I need to know more people than I do more advertising. And it was like, and I know what they said. I had a lot of training, and they said, you gotta build your audience, you gotta build your list. And back then, building my list meant putting them on an email, on an autoresponder, and that became more like a phone book to me, because a phone book's a list too. I had an old yellow pages. I looked at it it's just a list, and that's all it is. And I got this email list of people that responded to my ads. They really weren't interested in me or what I had. They just wanted to see what was on the capture page or get through. So I had a list, but it was a phone book to me. But I did see my kitchen list, which is on my refrigerator, which was a list of all the important numbers my kids had. Now that was an important list. And I'm like, and why was that list more? Because I knew them, I liked them, I trust them, and that's who I want my kids to call. So I realized I need to build a better list. And my training leads in today is going to be on Facebook, how to build your friends list with targeted marketed people that you want. But you got to keep the right frame of mind. We're not in this to sell them. Our goal is to connect and build our network. My goal is not to, and it might sound wrong, my goal is not to share this opportunity. That's going to happen, but that's not the primary goal. If that's my primary goal, to share the opportunity, then I get in the habit of meeting people online and immediately trying to, move the conversation passive aggressively to share my link, and I don't have success. But if I go through this and I just look to connect with people that I want to do business with maybe in the future, I can build a friends list rapidly, quickly, and then through my own feed and getting to know me, they'll automatically, and it all happens all the time, they ask you what you do. Then you can start to say things great like, well, I get compensated to help people save money, get money back on just about everything they do. They're so happy with what they're getting from me, and I get compensated for it. We all win. It's great. And I leave it at that. And then it's going to come. Well, what do you do? And I really want people asking for the link. I don't like sharing it. But if I can share my screen, I can take you through today exactly how I do it, what I do, and we'll do it live right here on this training if you want. Do I have access?
Awesome. I'm going, just one second. I was going to ask you if you want me to pass it over to you. So go ahead. And you are now the share screen man.
There we go.
Love
All
it.
right. I'm on there. This is my Facebook feed, as they call it. And as you can see, I want to show you the first thing I can do, which is really cool on my feed. So I go through my feed, and we all get ads on our feed, especially if we're in this industry. And right here, here's a sponsored ad. It's sponsored. They're paying for this ad. I get to use this ad for free. And because what I do is I come down here and I can see 50 people have responded to it. Now, I know all 50 of these people are looking at this because they want to make money online. Now, my target audience, that's my target audience. These are the people that I want to connect with. I want to build a friendship with them. I don't want to sell them. I just know they're in my industry. And I want to find the people I want to work with. So I could just click right on that, and it's going to bring up all the people in here that have responded. And I can look here real quick and say, okay, Patricia Huston. I've got 6 mutual friends with her. She knows a couple people I know. She lives in Mississippi. And you know what? I could come down here and I can follow her. I can add a friend. I can click here. I can go to her profile. I can find her in a profile, and I can look at her profile, learn a little about her, and see if this is somebody I want to do business with in the future. Right now, I just might want her as a friend. Grandmother, entrepreneur. I like this person. She's pretty interesting. I could go through here, and you'll get better as you go through this, because you can click on the about, you can go through, you can see what they put, you can see what their posts are, and you can say, is this somebody that I might want in my business in the future? Or could I learn something from her? Can we work together? I mean, all I want to do is make connections. So that's one way on sponsored ads, but I want to show you another way, and we're going to actually do some connecting here in a minute. That's not supposed to populate. On your main feed, let me go back here. I've got too many tabs open, and it's just going to keep doing this to me now. Let's go to Facebook here.
Hey, no worries. While you're doing that, Bob, let me just ask you, on her about page, we saw what city she's in, and that's it.
So some people don't
you
fill
put
it
any
out.
other info?
I look for people that have more info, but that might be somebody I connect with just to help them and tell them, I see you're in the same industry. Your about page doesn't have much. And a lot of people don't want to put a lot. They don't want to put a lot out there because they're afraid to.
If you don't want to get connected, or you don't, want someone contacting you, then don't put anything on there. But, my take is I want people to be able to interact with me. So, my phone number's on there, email address. I mean, you put a website on there. To me, that's marketing 101. If you don't want to get found, in business, you've got to be reachable. And if you're not reachable, so a lot of times I'll go in there just to see how serious they are about being an entrepreneur. Because if they just want to hide online and think they're going to make millions that way, good luck.
But now this is where you can start building value with somebody like her. If I friended her and we became friends and found out she works online and all this stuff, I could actually teach her a few things about her profile and say, I almost didn't friend you because of these things. Well, now I'm starting to build some trust because I'm helping her. So I look for people I can help, people that are at the same level I'm at in marketing, so we can just kind of bounce off each other. And I'm looking for people that are further along so I can learn from them. So when I look, there's a lot of things I look for. And the big thing is, does this person look like somebody I can have a conversation with? It's not looking for somebody, would they be interested in what I got? It's, can we build a relationship here? Because everybody successful in network marketing has a huge network. It's something I did not have when I started. And I always try to get the opportunity and think that would become my network. The opposite is true. We have to get our network first, and then the opportunity takes care of itself because you have a big network. Now, the next thing I'll do is I'll go in here. If on your feed, you'll see right down here on the left-hand side, I can go to my profile, I'll show that a little bit, but I go down to groups. Groups is a great place to go. I belong to so many groups. I join groups that I'm not even a member of if they'll let me in. And you can see I have a few of my own groups. This was in my early days. Here's something that I found that wasn't too bright for me. Trying to build my own group. Why? They're already out there. I don't need them. I have them. I don't do anything with them. But the groups are there. The people I need are there. And groups I've joined, Military and Veterans Entrepreneur Network. Of course, I'm a 21-year Navy man. Think I'm going to connect with a few people in this group? Absolutely. There's single moms, home business mom groups. There's all sorts of groups that you can find. And then there's all programs. Maybe I've done them. Maybe I haven't done them. Some Bitcoin stuff and Christian entrepreneurs because I'm a Christian. Another one where I find people that I can just connect with. Again, I'm just looking to build my network and build friends. The rest will take care of itself in the messages, because it always comes up when you're online. What do? And again, I give them the teaser. I help people get cash back and save money. I get compensated to do that. They're happy. Their budget's been so much better. It's just a wonderful thing. What do? And then I throw it back at them. How does that work for you? Now, we got to get into the messaging, because that's when it gets fun. But anyway, I go through all this. I find a list. And if you don't belong to groups, you can search groups. MLM for beginners. Let's go check that out. You can just come here and bring up a whole list of groups and see which ones you want to join. You don't even have to join the group to find this. Now, this is dangerous because sometimes some bad stuff comes up. But I think I have another screen already opened up that I can do this without having to worry about that. I can't get to my menu bar. Let's go to a group I'm already a member of, just so we're safe. Because sometimes some of these groups aren't monitored that well, and they get slipped by with things. But again, I can just sit here and see all these groups in here. And I can join any of them. I can go look at them. And I'm going to go to groups I already belong to. So let me go back to my home page, because I know boy, it just keeps wanting to bring up that website here. But let's, I'm going to go to groups I'm already a member of. I like this one right here. I did a video on this, and I'm taking flack on it because this is not the best program in the world, but taking a lot of flack. But again, when you go into a group, if you come over here to people, it might say members, it might say people. Click on it. Just go in there and take a look at what you get. You're going to find out I'm a member, okay? Then I've got who the moderators are, people I'm friends with, and then right here, members with things in common. I want to see all those. This is just great. They just do all the work for you. These are all people that are in an opportunity, looking to make money. And most of them are just they're not doing well, because I know this program, but I can go down here and I can find them. I mean, here's a guy right here. I could click on him. We can go there. We can check out his profile. Now, when you're in a group, it's going to give you their stuff in the group. You're going to have to go over here to these three little dots and get to their main profile. Now you can get to their profile. Now we can find out a lot about this guy. Georgia, from Texas, followed by 143. He's got stuff up here. He's got his link right here. He's posting all about it. Here's something I don't recommend on your feed. Don't post all about your business on your feed, because when you get in, when you connect with somebody, they're going to look at your feed. If they see what you're doing, guess what? They're never going to ask you. What do? They'll never ask you, because you've got it all over your feed. What they'll do is they'll go over to YouTube and do a review on it, and you'll never see them again, because they're going to find someone like me, John, or somebody else on YouTube and join under us. You don't want to put your link in your feed. You might put a little link over here or something and have something like that. I'm going to go to my profile, but let's just go ahead and message this guy. What I'll do if I want to connect is I'll add friend, and I'll send a message, and I'll very easily just go in there. Hey, Danny, just sent you a friend request. Saw we are in the same group and know a lot of the same people. Thought would be nice to connect. And that's all I do. Now you just all I do. He might respond, he might not. If he does, I've got a friend, and we start a conversation. It starts right there. But let's go to my profile real quick. Let's see here. I get back over there without it. One of my pages again. I just want to go home here. I've got his profile picture. All right. We'll go to my profile. I'm going to just kind of show you. Now, my profile, it needs work. They all do. There's always a work in progress, but we're going to take you there. And I want to show you a few tips that you can do. This is my profile. That's my family, my dad, my brothers. We all Navy. But I don't know if you know it, but you can pull this up. Over here, you can put things over here. Get cash back on shopping. I got my link there if they ever click on my profile. But what you don't find is in my main feed, you will see a testimony that I just got dog food for free for my cash back on my gas. And then you'll just see,
Nice.
You'll see other things on here that I have going on that I find interesting and funny and things like that. And I actually did like this one. Kid told his dad he wanted to look older. Look what his dad did. I think that's fantastic. That's an old Navy guy. I was a drill sergeant. I know how to do that. But I've got everything in here in my bio. I've got it in here. I've got my YouTube channel in here so they can find out more. Save with Bob. That'll take them to my site. But most of it in here, I don't put it in my feed. I don't have it in my headline. You can actually click on this picture and have stuff over here that they can see too. It's a great way to have your profile look good. You do need to keep putting stuff up here in your post because when you connect with somebody, they're going to come to your profile and look at it. And I like to kind of keep it up here where they can just scroll down and see things. And you'll be amazed. I'll go to my messenger here. I've got tons of people that I'm talking to all the time. Melvin, I was talking to earlier. Frank and I just met. We're having a conversation today. Jennifer, we just met. We're having a conversation. Then I have family and friends in here, but I'm having conversation with people every day. And again, in those conversations will come the question, what do you do? It happens every time with marketers because we're looking for something we can talk about. If you go to their profile, you've got an opening. I see you're from here. I've been there. I see you like this. You've done that. But if we just look at the beginning, you can go to groups, you can go to sponsored ads, just find those people you have things in common with, send them a friend request, and then send them a message, and then just have a conversation. Don't try to send them a link. And you're going to run into this. You're going to have people that immediately send you their link. I love those people. They send me the link right away, and I go, oh, I see you're doing that. How's it going for you? Oh, great. Everybody says great. It's going great. I'm like, really? I said, because you sent me, I didn't ask for the link and you sent it to me. Does that form of marketing work? Because I'm learning marketing and I'd like to know, does that really work? Do you sponsor people that way? Because I've tried it. It doesn't work. And then you try to get, sometimes they'll leave and never come back. But sometimes they'll be honest with you and say, no, I haven't had much success. And then you can say, yeah, it doesn't work that way because people don't like to be sold. And, you know, we have a team that has great training. You come to the training and learn how to actually attract people instead of rejecting people, because no one likes to be sold, but we all like to buy. We all like to shop. And if you get out there and just start sharing your message that you're helping people, you're going to build a huge audience. And now the old build an audience, you got to have all that content. You can see I don't have, I'm not putting content up here. I'm not putting training here. I'm just being a friend. And do you know the easiest people to bring into your business are friends that are marketers? They're the easiest ones because they already understand the industry. So if we build our network first, then the sharing will happen automatically. But we're all trying to share. And I did this for 20 something years, trying to share, trying to find a way to share. How can I get my link in front of this guy? Oh, and you try things like, man, gas prices are really high. And then they agree. And then you try to show them a link. I don't want to do that. I'm helping people. And, you know, my biggest reason for connecting is I want to be a better marketer. And I think we can learn something from each other. I use that all the time. How do you promote your business online? What do you use? And I start that conversation because you know what? There might be a tip there. And then when they start listening to you, they might realize you know something. And then they're really going to listen to you. So, and if you teach what I'm teaching now, that I just build a network of people I'm friends with that I can network with, because that's what it's called, network marketing. Let's network with each other and learn what each other does and stop selling each other. So that's kind of my training. I hope that helped, John. I'm going to turn it back over to you before I get rambling.
Well, that was fantastic and very educational for all of us. You know, there's nothing better, Bob, than a real life example. And you just did it right there, you know, connecting with that guy right in front of everybody here. So that's beautiful. When you do that kind of work, do you have in your head some type of quota? You know, I need to connect with X number of people.
Well, you know my schedule. I'm up at 3. I walk the dog. I get back. I sit at my computer for about an hour and a half before I have to go to my day job. And I sit here for an hour and a half, and I want to get at least 10 friend requests out and messages out. And I switch every friend request.
Awesome.
And this is why you kind of got to look at profiles. And I would suggest you start 2, 3, maybe 5, somewhere in there. And they're not all going to respond. But I know if I get 10 out, I'm probably going to have conversations with 3 to 5 people during the day. And at work, I can sit there and respond on my phone via Messenger pretty quick. But I go to the profiles because I want each message to be different. If you start sending a canned message out, you start, and I see them come to me all the time. The canned message comes to you, and you know somebody's either using an automated system or they haven't looked at your profile. They don't care a diddly about you. They're just trying to sell you. So I try to look at a profile, find something. The one with Danny there was kind of fast. I usually look for something I can key on that we have in common that's different. And that way, every message goes different. Facebook isn't looking at me like I'm just out there spamming people. It's actually personal. And that's why as you do this, you'll get better. When you start, you might just want to do one because it does take time going through profiles to find things that you have something in common with. But again, we're building our network the more you do it. And again, I do that hour and a half in the morning. I want to get 10 out there. Then I go to work, and during the day, I'll be on my phone. If I get the ding, I'll respond real quick. And I'll even tell them I'm at work right now. Thanks for connecting. I'd really like to talk a little bit more. I'm going to have a few minutes here. I'll get back with you when I can. The great thing about Messenger is you don't have to respond right away. Everybody knows you're not going to respond right away. It's not like a phone call where you're on the hook. This is where when they respond, you have time to look at that message and go, how do I want to respond? And you can think about it. And you can respond a little bit later. And then you don't, it's a conversation that can go over hours. So it's really nice. I get home roughly about 5:30 in the evening, have dinner, clean up after that. Then I try to really sit down and connect and follow up with people I've already met that I need to get back in touch with, because I try to follow them. It's tough because you're going to get so many. It's hard to follow them. But I do like to click on their feed, see what's going on, because once you're a friend, you'll see their feed. And you go, hey, I saw this happening, or so-and-so had a birthday or whatever. I mean, I'm glad you're having a good time. I saw your vacation post, whatever. You can keep these conversations going and follow up with them. And that's all my connect, share, follow up. I mean, it's a continual process, but find the time, do it daily. I would start with just find one that you can connect with a day. Just find one profile, because it's so, I mean, those ads, people don't like ads on their feed, but I'll tell you what, I just go down that feed. These are all people looking, especially if it's an ad designed trying to sign somebody up into an opportunity. I know they're not going to get the support because they're going to a paid commercial. And if I can friend them and start a conversation, it's just wonderful. It's just, I now have a network. My friends list grows every day. So I guess long answer for a short question.
No, everything you said was fantastic. You know, my takeaways are, number one, you're very diligent on doing your work. So you've got a structure, you've got a plan, you know, not just getting on there and hoping that it works, or just kind of doing a bunch of random activities. You have a plan, and you have a set number of people that you're trying to go after. You also have a strategy when you get those people in the hopper, when you actually have them ready to prospect. You have a method, a system, and that's fantastic. So I got a lot of takeaways from what you did. I think one of the biggest ones is, and this is the benefit of everybody, is that we have unlimited leads at our disposal through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through YouTube. I mean, all these places. And what is shocking to me, I could sit here, I could name you off 100 people right off the top of my head who have made 6 figures in network marketing, true story, or have put thousands of people in a network, either way you want to go, and they don't have a home right now. And all those people are out there looking. And it's, you know, that's just in my warm market. I'm talking thousands, tens of thousands, maybe more than that. Hundreds of thousands of people are out there looking for a good company. And it's very hard to find. And our job is to get that out there. Yes, sir.
I did have a question about in the chat that wants to know what happens when you hit 5,000 in your friends limit. You start go get rid of the ones that you haven't really been connecting with. You just get rid of them. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm constantly going through that friends list, and I mean, there's people I connect with. I realize, because this is the neat part, when you build with 5,000 people, that's a lot of people to have in your network, and you now get to pick who you want to work with. So if there's going to be people in there's like, I really don't connect with that guy, unfriend them, to get rid of them. I mean, it's easier to work with people you want. I mean, That's the greatest thing about what I'm doing is I get to choose who I work with. And I don't have to take on somebody that's just doesn't have it right. It's like, but there are people I want to help, but there's the belligerent ones that I'm going to get rid of pretty quick because they can be mean. But no, you just have to clean up your friends list sometimes.
It's a nice problem to have. Most people are never going to have to deal with this. I mean, I haven't had any problem with the 5,000 limit, but there are easy solutions. Number one, go open a second Facebook account. How hard is that? You know, here, have another 5,000. So, I mean, that's the easiest way. Another way is to set up so that people can follow you and, you know, like you're a business or a celebrity. That's another route.
That's when the group thing, you could use a group. Like I try to do those fan pages and groups. Once I get to that point, then I'll direct them that way. But when you're talking, you don't have many followers in that, you're not going to have a problem with your friends list. And again, by the time you get to 5,000, your business is going to be rocking and you'll have your own group and things like that.
Yeah, setting up a group is one of the easiest things to do. There's really no cap on how many people you can add to a group. One of my closest friends set up a business advertising online, you know, on Facebook. It was a business advertisers group. And I mean, I think he's getting close to 100,000 people on there. It's just crazy. And every time, you know, he wants to start marketing a new company, he goes there to his group. And all of a sudden he's got, you know, a huge audience. There are people that go on there and just post all kinds of nonsense and craziness. And so that makes it kind of a, you know, a decentralized hub to go do business advertising. There's a lot of stuff on there. One of the things that you have to do, and I think you inherently do this, is you have to guard your time, because we all can go sit on Facebook and surf and end up, oh, I haven't seen, you know, Fred for 20 years. What's he doing? Next thing you know, you spend an hour checking him out. You might even call him up, and then, you know, poof, your 2-hour window, you just spent half of it catching up with an old college buddy or something. So great stuff. Anything else you want to share before we shift gears here?
Just build your network, and while you're doing it, they're going to ask for what you do, and you're going to find people along the way, and you don't even have to worry about it. Just build friends.
There you go. Great advice. Appreciate you leading the field for us on this, and we're all cheering for you to get that 1-star knocked out. All you got to do is 1 week.
One more week.
Okay, awesome. Looking forward to it. We'll add your name to the list. That'll be fantastic. We're cheering for everybody to get to a 1-star. You'll hear us talk about that quite a bit. All right, thank you so much, Bob Brooks from Burlington, Iowa. You were awesome. Appreciate you sharing all that. What we're going to do now is I'm going to walk you through a little bit of comp plan training, and then we're going to touch on a couple other things. We were supposed to have, just so you know, this is my get out of jail free card. We were supposed to have one of our co-founders on here today. He was going to share some really exciting news with us, but they didn't have it ready yet. So it's coming. And we have a few great things that are cooking. And I wish I could sit here and tell you all about them, but that's corporate's job. And I'm not allowed to spill the beans, but we got some great stuff coming. This business, I've been here 2 months, and this is going to just get bigger and bigger and better and better. You're going to get a lot more value in the next month or two for your $22. It's really going to be a dramatic shift in how much you can offer people for that $22. And that's the name of the game. So we're real excited about that. Now that I've teased the heck out of it, I'm going to ask forgiveness, and I'm going to share my screen, and then we will get going here. We're talking about compensation. I just want to spend a little bit of time walking through the understanding of this comp plan, because there is a lot of confusion on it. The comp plan here is supposed to be real simple, and I'm going to tell you what I focus on. Again, you know, there's lots of angles, lots of different ways you can make money here, so you can focus on whatever you want. But there are 10 ranks, and then I'm going to talk about how much money you can make from those 10 ranks. But they call it referral rewards. I just threw this all on the screen just so you can zip through it real quick. The number by the rank right here is the total number of paid members, okay? and that includes your personally enrolled. Now, there's only one requirement. Actually, you can build up to all 5 personally enrolled, and at each level, at each personally enrolled person, that gets you down the corresponding level. So if you have 1 personally enrolled, that gets you to the first level. If you have 2, that gets you to the second level, and so forth. And these aren't levels right here. This is just the 10 ranks. I just happen to list them going straight down. But and then we'll talk about the levels here in a minute. But when you get to the 5th personally enrolled person, that gets you down 6 levels. So number 1, you want to be down 6 levels right out of the gate. So you want to go get your 5 as fast as possible, right away, ASAP. And then you don't have to go get any more than 5 after that. You don't have to. But to get down to the lower levels with a huge group, you probably are going to need a lot more than 5. Okay, that's just reality. I tell everybody that up front. The typical number in networking is 20 or 30 to find 4 or 5 legs that explode and grow without you. But here in Nexus, it's so easy to enroll people, that might be deceiving. And so my number is more like 40 or 50, maybe even 40 to 60. Sometimes people are like, no one's doing anything underneath me. Guess what my answer is? Got to go get more people. That's always the answer. I'm sorry, but that is reality. All right. Now, after the first rank here, that pro, that's the title there, pro. And I always remind people that's for promotional, not for professional. A lot of times we automatically assume that's professional, but no, you don't get that pro rank really until you're professional, until you're moving down here. I think more like diamond is the professional rank. Now at pro 25, that's where you have 25 total downline. So you got 5 on your first level that you personally recruited, and then a total of 25 that includes however many you have on your front line. So if I went and I enrolled 10 people, which I did on my first day, and then Scott and I did on my first day, I can't exclude him. We are a partnership. If I have 10 on my first level, on my front line that I personally enrolled, I would only need 15 more to get to that pro 25. Okay, real simple. So as many as you get on your first level are included in this total downline count. So 25 for pro 25, 50 for pro 50. And again, that's total underneath you. And then 100 for 1-star, 200 for 2-star. And then you see each one of these numbers is just doubling. So not very difficult. And it's a true, from 25 all the way to 800, it's a true double. And then they cut us a little slack there. You don't have to go to 1600 to get to double diamond. And then 3000, again, a double. And then you don't have to go to 6000 to hit that ambassador rank. Now, we already know that people are going to blow out, go right to ambassador very quickly. There's, a lot of people out there way better than I am. They'll come in and they'll put 5,000 people in a month or two, and they'll hit ambassador. And the company already knows when that happens, they're going to need other ranks beyond that ambassador rank. But right now, that's the target. When I first looked at this compensation, I said, what do I need to do to max it out? And there you go. So I need 5,000 total in my organization. Well, I mean, you could break it down many different ways. That's just 5 legs of 1,000 each, 5 frontliners, and then they each have 1,000. And there you go. You're at 5,000. Now, one thing I don't have on this slide is you can only count a maximum of 60% of your organization towards your rank up. Okay. So if I want to go to 100 and I've got someone underneath me who has 100, I could only count 60 of those 100 towards my own rank up. That means I need another 40, right, to get to 100 from other legs. Okay. Real simple to figure that out. But, most of us won't have that problem, but it is an issue. If you have someone who's going crazy and moving faster than you are, you might need to only count 60% of that leg at any rank that applies. Okay. So there you go. One other thing that's really important, this 1-star, besides being a number where your whole group can grow at the rate of growth of the company, I always talk about that because it's so amazing. The other thing is this dynamic compression right here that begins at the 1-star rank. That means you get everything that your downline doesn't. So if someone's not qualified to get on that 6th level or something like that, well, if you are a 1-star, that is going to compress to you. It's not going to go to the company. And that's a big deal to know about that. All right. So that's one more reason why you want to race to 1-star as fast as possible. There's many reasons. You want to get your group growing. You want to lead by example. You want to grow at the rate of growth of the company, and you want to get that dynamic compression. Okay. And that'll get you on the leaderboard right there. Where is that leaderboard? I show it every Tuesday and Thursday. So you want to make sure to get on that. Everybody at the star rank and higher, that's who's on that leaderboard. So there you go. All right. A little bit on the ranks. Now keep in mind that, the ranks are how wide you go, and then the total downline underneath them, okay? And then the levels are how many levels you get paid on. A lot of times people will say the word level, and they're really talking about rank. So you want to be clear on that, because we're in a multi-level payout. That's what MLM is, multi-levels of marketing, of commissions. And those levels, as you go down the levels, obviously that's your depth, okay? And there's a saying in the industry, wide for show, deep for dough. And it's so true, because this organization, can be a pancake. If you go recruit 100 people or 1,000 people and they don't really go get a whole lot underneath them, that's just a long, wide snake. There's really no depth or breadth to that organization. And the beauty of the dough really is where you get time freedom, the beauty of the depth, okay? That's the time freedom is what we really all want, because when you have depth, that means you have people under you who are making money. And that's goal number one, right? To help other people get to their goals. That's all I care about. And when I bring somebody on and they tell me, hey, I want to go and hit that 1-star rank. I want to have 100 people underneath me. Okay, great. Now they may say, I want to get to 1,000 a month. I enrolled somebody last night on my front line, and she said, I could definitely use an extra $500 a month. And I said, great. Okay, now we know where you want to go. And by the way, we're having that conversation as she signed up, right after. And it's so important to establish, hey, what do you want to do with this? And what'll happen is if you don't do that before they start recruiting, they'll go out there. They won't be really committed. They'll kind of stick their toe in the water, and then they'll fail miserably because they don't duplicate. They don't get you on the phone. They don't do 3-ways. They don't run people through the system. They're out there, just machine gun and missing everything. And then they say, this didn't work. And then they're out. And they didn't have a plan. They didn't have a goal. They didn't have support. They didn't have a backup if things didn't go well on their first batch of 50 or their first batch of 100 people that they called, and then they're out. Oh, this isn't working, or, whatever excuse they come up with. So you want to establish that goal, and you want to help them get down in that depth as quickly as possible. Okay. That is the beauty right there. That's the dough that we're talking about. That's why we say wide for show, because you can be a hot rod and you can go get 100 frontliners right away. But if you don't help those people get deep and help them start making money, then you're up the creek. And good luck being able to build a strong organization. That's what we're talking about right there. So but the other thing is, this is really important. We have to build that depth, but to get the depth, we usually have to get the width first. Okay. And one of the things that you do when you build wide very quickly is you let your people know it is easy to bring people into this. That's a big deal. I have 56 people. Scott and I have 56 people on our front line. That demonstrates, hey, we can bring on a lot of people. So you have to demonstrate it is easy. And, if I bring somebody on and they're struggling to get their 5 and, they say to me, well, how many do you have? And then I can say, well, I've got 56 on my first level. Then all of a sudden that reminds them, oh, okay, it's not that hard. I need to go get more people. So that's a big deal. The other thing is, like I said before, the reality on the previous slide is you will need to go and get a lot of people to find leaders who are going to grow who are going to build a big organization, bring a lot of people on, and then most importantly, grow without you. You know you have achieved success when you help somebody else become successful. And one of the key indicators that they're successful is that they don't have to call you anymore to build this business. Now, anytime someone's brand new, I'm on the phone with them doing three-ways like crazy. And if they're not doing three-ways with me, what do I know? Number one, they're probably not bringing people in. Number two, even if they are, they're not duplicating. And then their people probably aren't doing three-ways. And all of a sudden, we've got another pancake situation there. So you definitely want to duplicate that. And you see right here, it talks about infinity pay. When someone reaches or exceeds your rank, that's when they stop you on the extra pay. Now, I filled out this chart, from the previous one. Again, ranks across the top and then the levels below. And the ranks are going to get you to the lower levels. Okay. Again, all this lingo, very important so that you can explain that to other people. And you see here the 10s across the top. Now, you're going to have your second and fourth brand partner that will have coding that will go to your sponsor. On the second and the fourth, I didn't have room to put all this on the slide, and I don't want to put it on there generically. I don't want people to be confused. When I'm talking about all of this, I just want them to focus on the basics. And the basics are, if you bring on 10 people, $10 a head, there's $100 a month. But two of them, when they go recruit people, your second and your fourth brand partner, that's brand partner is anyone that's sponsored at least one other person. The second and fourth the $5 of their 10 will go to your sponsor. Now, why did they pick the second and fourth? It's real easy. They wanted to make sure that most people couldn't game the system. Okay, so and they obviously, Art and Rob knew what they were doing when they set this up, and so that's how they circumvented people trying to shortcut things. So $5 on your second person and $5 on your fourth person will go upline. Now that still means you're going to make $10 on them. So I'm sorry, you're still going to make $5 of the 10 on them. So you're not losing, the whole thing. You're losing $5. And then under those people on their second and fourth, you'll have their brand partners, second and fourth, also paying up to you. And that will continue down in those two legs, all those people. And that's another reason why you want to go help all your people get their 5 and then help those 5 get their 5 and so forth, because you're going to see some $5 coding for that. That will give you a nice boost. And Art has an entire page just talking about this $5 coding in the flip book. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. It would probably be dynamite for me just to zip my mouth and hit the play button on that thing, and everybody would get a great education from it. That's your homework assignment to go. That's one of many homework assignments I'm going to give you. So you go and you watch that. It's one page, and I think he spends 5 minutes on it, but it will give you a great understanding. He actually shows how deep that can go, how much money that could add up to over the long haul. Because a lot of people look at this and say, $1 a month per person, that's not enough. But this is one more way that they're going to add to that. So that's exciting. And you're going to see a little bit more from the company emphasizing that, announcing that, demonstrating it. You're going to see a lot more about that in the very near future. So that's one of the things, one of many things that are coming from corporate that we are really excited about. That will be dynamite. Now, if you're like me, already looked down here on these lower levels and you saw, second level, I'm making $1. Third level, I'm making 50 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, all the way down third through 6 levels, 50 cents a head. So if you have 1,000 people here on the third through 6th level, what are you making? You're making $500. You might say, that's great. You might say, that's awful. I put 1,000 people in here and I'm making $500. How much are they paying? And, really in traditional marketing, you're looking for a target of around $100 a head spent. Okay. That's their auto ship. That's their, monthly volume requirement, whatever. But then the reality is we're coming in around 1/5 of that. Instead of $100 a month, our monthly is $22. And that $22 is 1/5, essentially, and make the math easy. We're going to just say 1/5 of $100, right? So we're going to have probably 5 times the amount of work to do, or we're going to get 1/5 of the pay if we did the same work in a traditional networking company. And that's why, if you have 1,000 people in a traditional network company and they each do $100 a head, 1,000 times 100, there's $100,000. If you got 5% of that, that would be $5,000 a month. And that's been, standard verbatim, the way it works, the default in the industry for years and years. And yeah, you could earn a little bit more than 5% here and there, but, here, instead of, that, again, $100 a head, you're looking at a smaller piece of the pie. Now you build that up as you grow, right? When you hit Pro 25, you're going to get an extra 25 cents on level 3. And then that's all the way down to level 6. And then down to the 7th level, 25 cents, and all the way down if no one else matches you at that rank. So if you have a runaway leg where all of a sudden you got people on your 7th, 8th, 9th level, you can earn 25 cents per head on all of them. Now at Pro 25, it's not going to add up to that much. How many people are you going to have, right? So this is a little amount. But at Pro 50, now you're getting another 25 cents on level 4. At 1 star, you're getting another 25 cents on level 5. At 2 star, you get another 25 cents on level 6. You see what's going on here? So we literally just went 75 cents, $1. I mean, you just see it by rank, 125, 150, and so forth. And then this number here, when you get to the 3-star rank, and by the way, I don't know if you're looking at that going 400 people, that's so hard. That's going to take me so long. It's not. I mean, if you build this and just bring on enough people and, 4 legs of 100 each, there you go. It's not that difficult. Okay. I'm just telling you, it takes a little bit of time, but if you have people that are focused and doing what they're supposed to do, you will get here. And all of a sudden you could be making more money on that 6th level right there easily than your first 5 combined. And, you hear that and we talk about, you get 5 and they get 5, 25, 125, 625, 3125, going down those 6 levels. And then a lot of times people go, that never happens, but it actually does. It does happen. In my first company, which, this is going back 25 years, I had the majority, I had a big organization and the majority of my group was on the 4th and 5th levels. When I was making a 5-figure check, the majority of that income by far was coming from these 2 levels. And, that eventually that 5th level was where most of my pay came from. Now, if I didn't qualify to get paid on that 5th level, I had a problem, right? Now, the great thing about this is all you need is 5 personals to get at least 50 cents a head on that 5th level. And again, if everybody's paying $22, they're throwing you a small amount right there. And you might say, well, that's not very much. Right. But you didn't have to do very much to get it either. And that, again, that's the beauty of Art and Rob, because they know where we're coming from as reps, and they wanted still to give us some pay down there for not doing a whole lot. And again, you could go, there's a lot of companies out there where bringing on 100 people really is like the bare minimum to do that kind of revenue and get paid down this much and that high of a percentage. That's pretty spectacular. And that's coming from, me saying, hey, I've been hanging around this thing for 3 decades. So I definitely know that's a great percentage for doing 100 people times $22 a head. I mean, that's phenomenal. There's not another company out there that's going to give you that kind of a percentage on the 5th, 6th, and 7th level for doing that low amount of revenue. I mean, it's really mind-boggling to me. If I pull the calculator out and you start looking at, hey, $22 times 100 people, it's like, wait a minute, I only have to generate $2,000. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there that just to buy rank and, to get down to, these levels, you spend $1,500 just yourself. And, that's not going on here. So I'm not going to spend time going all the way down through all these levels. You kind of get it. Hopefully you do. You can see how this can get deep and much bigger. And, at $1.50, even $1.25 per head on your organization, it doesn't take much to say, all right, if I have 5,000 people in my network that I'm getting paid on, where, no one reached or exceeded my rank. So I'm pulling in 100% of all that's available. And I just average $1.50 or $1.25. Let's just use $1.50 just to make the math easy. If I have 5,000 people in my organization and I'm averaging $1.50 a head, that's $7,500 a month. There you go. And, you might look at that and say, what? I mean, I put last year over 20,000 people in another company, and I got paid almost zero on that. I mean, we didn't have anything for the whole organization to go and get. It was a long story, very frustrating. But so we really appreciate being able to make $1 a head here. And I talk about that all the time, make $1 a head. So it's a great payout. If you have questions on that, we'll open it up so everybody can ask their questions. And we can go back to that chart. It's not a problem at all, because I want to make sure everybody understands it. I do want to spend a minute on this concept because you can go backwards. Like I just alluded to, if you put 5,000 people in and you average $1.50 a head, that would be $7,500. So you can back up and you can say, okay, well, if I want to make $1,000, what do I need to do to get there, right? So you start with where you want to go, where you want to be, and then you can work backwards. You figure out that income amount. How much do I want to make? And if you're like me, you say, oh, minimum, I got to make 10 grand a month, 5 figures monthly minimum amount right there. Okay. And then the number of downline needed to get there, and if you say, well, I want to make $500 at $1 a head. Okay. Well, you might need 500 people. Now keep in mind, if you get 100 yourself at $10 each, 100 people at $10 each, that's $1,000. So you would have blown that number out of the water without going and getting 500 people, only a small fraction of that. So again, there's lots of ways to tweak the system, but you have to also have numbers that are realistic. Because if you're, talking about some crazy numbers that you're never going to reach, then you might want to rethink your numbers. You might want to rethink your income amount. But once you have a handle on this, Scott and I look at this, we tear it all apart. We figure out, okay, how many people do we need to have on our front line? How many people do we need to have running at 1 star, at, diamond? And we piece all that out. And that's how you construct a huge organization that is going to run for years and years. The other part of the ingredient is you got to be willing to do the work. And again, you talk to people, and in the beginning, everybody's like, yeah, I'm going to go get 1,000 people. And then, they flame out after they've got 10 people that tell them no. And, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I'm used to it because I see people all the time. It's real easy to run your mouth. It's real hard to go and do the work. The elbow grease, hard, yapper, easy. And that's why I say putting it on paper, you're still just talking. But when you block out time on your calendar, like Commander Brooks did there, I mean, that is the brilliance. That's where you really begin to have a commitment and a real chance to do what you're talking about doing. And you made a commitment. Okay, I'm going to work these hours. And then that is where the amount of time comes in. It's so important, to have a realistic setting for, when am I going to work this? Because you got to coordinate. Unless you're some single dude with no one else relying on you, or single female. If you've got a spouse, if you've got kids, if you've got people you work with, if you've got responsibilities in your community, all these different things, you may need to let other people know, hey, I'm unavailable. Like Bob said, he's unavailable from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. or, whatever time he's hitting it after in the early morning. If you're working it in the evening, I'm unavailable from 7 to 9. And then when people know that around you, a lot more times they're going to respect it. And also, if you can kind of coordinate, hey, if you let me work these hours, then if I work these hours, then we're going to go to the water park on Saturday, something like that. Have that all worked out. And then there is definitely cooperation, understanding, and beauty. Now, this is the scary part. This is the last part of that whole plan it out. You know, when we talk about right here, you know, the working backwards, reverse engineering, creating a plan on how to get where you want to go. This is where people really start checking out of commitment. But that accountability is so critical. And here are the reasons why. You know, when you think about it, who really do you have to answer to? You got to answer to your spouse. You got to answer to a boss. You know, I don't know who else you answer to. In this business, the only person you have to answer to is yourself. But you can artificially set it up that you answer to your sponsor, you answer to your sponsor, you answer to your upline 1-star. That is what I recommend everybody on this call do. It is beautiful. Everybody works better when they report results. And this is also where people are like, you know, running the other direction. And, you know, that's okay. But when you report your results, when you have that time, this is when I'm going to work, and you actually explain that to your sponsor, to your upline 1-star, now you got commitment. Set those hours in the day. How many hours am I going to work? And then what hours are those in the day? Because if someone says to me, I'm going to work 4 hours, and then they don't have it down of what those 4 hours are going to be, you know, I'm sorry to say, you know, you're still just blanking in the wind. That was edited for TV. You know, you've got to be real about when you're going to work. And I am guilty as everybody else. I say, I'm going to hit this thing. I'm going to dial the phone 6 hours today. And then, you know, what happens? I end up, you know, on the phone with somebody, chatting it up, and I don't do my hours. All right. Happens all the time. And you just have to repent, reset, and go again. All right. So set your minimum production amount. You heard Bob say, what was his number? Everybody, if you're paying attention, you got to know that number. What was that number? He said 10, right? And when he said 10, boom, that's when I knew. And, you know, Bob and I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. That's when I knew that he was serious. He was a real businessman because he had a minimum production amount. Okay. And then from that production, you know, Bob said, okay, I got to get 10. And then in order to get X number of frontline, I don't remember what that was. I think he said 1 a week, something like that, 1 a day, whatever the number is. That doesn't matter to me. My number is 1 a day. If I'm not signing 1 a day, shame on me. You know, that's the goal. And then how many prospects do I need to talk to get to that 1 a day? If you don't have that number right there, you're not going to get there. So guess what you got to do? You got to decide here right now, how many people do I need to call to get X number of people enrolled? And I'm not talking about free. Okay. Take the free right here and just put it in the trash, because we're not dealing with free enrollments. Now, look, am I going to turn away free people? Never. I got a bunch of them. Am I going to like berate them because they're free? No, I'm not doing that. I'm saying for those of you that want to build to X amount of dollars, free can't be part of your equation. Okay. And we love free customers, and we always want to see if we can help them upgrade. Okay. So, you know, free is a great group of people that is sitting there. As Scott always has said from day one, free people are just paid members that haven't upgraded yet. So you don't want to chase them out the door or chastise them or any of that, but you want to make clear in your head that all of your prospects and your frontliners are paid. That's what you're looking for here. Is I just want to be very clear on, you know, because if you go and enroll 10 free, you haven't added to any, you know, of this right here. So, and then set a reward. Again, I gave you an example of that. You can give yourself a reward. You know, if I go get 10 frontliners in, or I go hit pro, I get 5 frontliners in, what are you going to do to celebrate? You know, get your 5. If I hit pro 25, Bob, what are you going to do? I'll pick on you. You don't have to answer, but if you hit 1 star by next week, what are you going to do? And if you have that, again, in place, you're much more likely to do it. Everyone works better when they report results. Now, a lot of people look at this and go, oh, that's too military, too hardcore. And I say, I love that. Taking my wife out. Okay, there you go. Awesome goal. And that's the name of the game. When you are this structured, I got to tell you, it's very prevalent in the military circle that, you know, people have that kind of structure and focus on discipline and so forth, bottom line. But there are a lot of incredible business people out there that have never been military. I can name off a whole slew of them that are way more disciplined than, you know, anything I could ever dream of. I'll never forget. I was reading, if you can go back 30 years with me, Ivan Lendl was like the Djokovic of the day 30 years ago. And he could literally name off like his flight number and departure time for the second half of the year of every flight, every tennis tournament he was playing in. He was that disciplined. So, you know, it's not just a military thing. It is a success thing, and that's what you want to do. All right, here's my accountability chart. These are all real numbers. This is from a couple weeks ago, and I just copied it and threw it up here on the screen so you guys can rip it apart. You can say, oh, he's not working very hard. Or you can say, oh, wow, I can never do that. Whatever. You know, I've had some great days where I blew through a ton of numbers, and I've had some weak days where I didn't do a whole lot. I took a week where, you know, I was very diligent and I recorded everything. There are a lot of weeks where I don't record everything, but I do. And you, if you've seen my training on Google Calendar, I actually use the calendar to record every single person that I contact and if they sign up. There's a lot of people that I need to follow up on. I'm really bad at that. I need to go back. In fact, the person I enrolled last night, and it was funny because we were both going back to my original text message to her. I zapped her the text, and this is someone who is warm market to me. Number one, I got credibility with them. Number two, she's a big networker. You know, she's brought in thousands of people before in her own organization. She was in my organization before. So I have the green light to blast her, and really you have the green light to blast text to anybody that you want. It's totally up to you. You know, if it's on your belief window, oh, that's rude, I can't send somebody a text right out of the blue. Well, that's your choice if you want to think that. But on my belief window, it's written right here on my forehead, is I can text anybody on the planet anytime, especially if I've got something that I know will help them. And so if I send them the info and, you know, they look at it, whatever, I can even send them a follow-up text. If they respond back to me that they're interested in what I texted them, now we are really cooking. Now we got something great to talk about. So I sent her the text. She responds back to me and she says, this looks interesting, you know, something like that. And I said, yeah, it's way more than interesting. This is the easiest thing I've ever seen. And now it's the easiest thing I've ever done because I texted you 3 weeks ago, and then I gave her an update, and I said, here's where I am now while you have done nothing. She says to me last night, yeah, I went back and I looked at your original text, and I realized, oh my gosh, a month has gone by because I've been busy with my job, J-O-B. And she said, you know, if anything's going to change, I got to change. And I said, wow, that is just fantastic. You know, the mindset right there. So, you know, then she plugged in, but it was because I shot her a little follow-up message because I know she's dynamite and I know she can go and, you know, she could tell me to, you know, buzz off and go and put 100 people in here without me doing anything. So that's the whole mindset. This is the goal that I have for all of these different items. And I call these IPAs. This is Scott's favorite term right there, or at least the one that he quotes a lot. Income producing activities. Okay. If it's not an income producing activity, it's not on here. Now there's a lot of the great things you can put on here. Like, did I do personal development today? Did I perform service for my fellow man? Did I, you know, thank my Father above for, you know, letting me live today? I mean, there's a lot of great things you could add to this list. And I recommend doing that, but I ran out of room on my slide. So I didn't put all those other things that I have on here that a lot of you might value and want to duplicate. But I'm telling you, I have those things on there every day, Darren Daily in the morning, every day, being grateful for what we have, you know, that gratitude and humility, mandatory part of all of this. I'm not going to spend any more time on that though now. Hours worked, got to work the hours. Okay. And then initial contacts. I have to hit X number of people every day. That's my daily goal. Do I hit it every day? No. I mean, you can see proof right there. I'm telling on myself. Piquing interest. How many people actually respond that they're interested? As Bob said, hit them with a link. Now, I had people with a link. I can compress these two with people I know, because I'm not messing around. And if they go and look at my link right off of my text, I have squashed the time, right? I have compressed the whole process. And that's my goal, is to get people looking at my stuff as fast as possible. And leaders are going to shoot through. They're going to look at the link. They're going to look at the company. They're going to make sure there's a company here. There's a phone number. There's a real address. There are real corporate officers. There are people here making money. They're going to dive through all of that stuff before they even want to talk to me. I have people prospect me all the time. Every week I get some, ridiculous, hey, check this out. And sometimes they're legit. I don't want to say everything's ridiculous. Obviously, I wouldn't even be in here. I got a text a couple times about Nexus, and I plugged in because somebody contacted me. So obviously, they're going to look at something, and then they're going to plug in. Some people will love it, some people won't. No worries. But I give people the ability to make that distinction, to do their own assessment right away. And as soon as they've done that, if they want to talk more, they're calling me. Woohoo! That's what we want. But if they don't call you, that's okay too. You can still follow up with them. The woman I signed up last night, she did not follow up with me. I followed up with her. She still signed up. Now, a lot of times, think about this. How amazing is it when you send somebody your link in a text and they go and they enroll without you? Never happens. How many companies have we been in, and how many times you got to get a crowbar out to pry that credit card out of their pocketbook, and then you have to resell them over and over and over because they had to spend a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. We don't have any of that going on here. It's just that simple. So I love it when I send my info to someone and they plug in right away. Now, I may have to catch up with them. I may have to build rapport, as Bob, so brilliantly showed his system for building rapport, getting to know people. That's not who I'm talking to right here. If I was talking to those people, I would follow exactly what Bob said. I would get to know them. I'd build rapport. I'd find something we have in common. He was great at that in his process. And then when I have something in common with them, now I'm going to shoot through, and now I'm moving into ABC mode, always be closing, right? And when you're moving into that mode, then you're looking for, hey, where are you in your current entrepreneurial world? Are you open to new business? Are you making all the money you want to make? And, you ask those types of questions, and then they are going to volunteer in, hey, do I want to look at what John's doing? And if they prospect you for what they're doing, no problem at all. Hey, I look at everything. I do. I say that to people every day. Yeah, send me your link. I'll send you mine. Boom. I just did that with someone on Monday, and he looked at what I had and he liked it better. It's just that easy. I didn't like what he had, and he liked what I had. So, how fantastic is that? And by the way, I've had crazy success putting a ton of people in here, and he's had almost no success. So kind of made it a no-brainer, right? That's the beauty of Nexus Rewards, is it's so easy to put a ton of people in here. And that's why we're going to bring in a lot more. All right. As you already have seen, I got enrollments paid and enrollments free. And you can see how much time I spend on free. It's not my default. If I talk to someone, I'm like, yeah, $22 a month. I saw there's a free option. Yeah, there is, but friends don't let friends enroll for free. You can do that if you want, but that's you're not in a business right there as free. You're just saving yourself money. You might be able to generate a little bit from referring others into the free program. There's no doubt about it, in fact, and you can make a few $100 doing that. So I encourage it. But if you're not going to work, if you're not going to build a network, then yeah, at least go save some money, no question. So I will go to that as plan B, but I'm all paid nonstop when I'm talking to people, and you can see it bears fruit. Now, I don't like to work on Sunday. This Sunday, I think this was 2 Sundays ago, somebody called me, and we ended up talking business, and I sent them the info. All right. This Monday, I said, I'm going to blow this thing out, and I went crazy, and I texted 47 people. And I say I went crazy. It took me a couple hours to do that. But what you don't see on here is Sunday night, way late, I sat there at my desk and I spent an hour going through who I was going to contact, because most people don't have 47 names just sitting there fresh. Hey, I'm going to contact these 47, right? So you want to make that list, and then you want to be able to have it fresh sitting there. Like when we hang up this call, I have a list of 47 people that I can go text. Now, will I get to them all? Probably not. What will happen is I'll text 10 or 20, and that's what happened on every single one of these days. I texted a bunch, and then people started calling me, and then they signed up. I mean, right here, look, I only contacted 8 people initially, and I had 5 peaks out of those 8. That means 5 people responded to my text and looked at my link. Now, again, my link was in my initial contact, so these were kind of one and the same. And when these 5 people responded to me, I already knew they had looked at my link because they told me, right? You didn't watch my 2-minute video yet? Go watch the 2-minute video, or the 4-minute. If you're using the rep website, that's fine too. And then the follow-up, hey, you know what? Let's get on can we talk right now? Let's get on that call. And if I'm on the phone with someone who's looked at the text info, I mean, we talk for an hour. We talk for 15 minutes. I don't cut them off. Eventually, if they're, just wanting to chit chat, I'll say, hey, I got a lot of the people that are waiting for me to call them. And that's actually one of the best lines you can use with everybody, mom, or, whoever. Hey, I got to go. I've got a bunch of other people waiting for me, and get off the phone. If you're not IPAing, then shift gears. All right. And then I had 4 enrollments that day. It was a beautiful day. Then from, Wednesday, you can see 18, you can see the hours worked here. My goal is 3. What's the 3? That's not 3 hours of 3-ways. A 3-way doesn't count in my world. You can count it in yours if you want. It is an IPA. But my 3 is on initial contacting. That's what I want to do every day, 3 hours. Now, do I end up doing that? No. Again, I told you, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But that's how it goes. All right. And you can see over here, 18, only 1 enrollment there, 12, only 1 enrollment. And I got 0 here out of the 47. Now, eventually a few of them did come on, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Friday, 10 people, and I had 3 enrolled that day. I mean, it was quite a week. And that's how you go and you put a ton of people on. You should see my first week. I don't even talk about it because it's not fair, because, I've been doing this a long time. I know I can pick up the phone and call 10 people, and they'll probably want to join whatever it is I'm doing. So that's just the beauty of it as you build that network up. We had a couple people come on to our calls as guest speakers, and they talked about, hey, what I did in my first week or my first month, that's not because of the work that I did that month. That's work that I've done over the years. And Bob alluded to that. You have to build your network to create that curiosity and also that credibility to then, go on from there and be able to bring people in quickly in your network. All right. Last thing I'm going to just finish up with here is the texting system. My text is a little bit longer, but like I said, I'm sending it to people I know, and it is it's very duplicatable, and it gives everybody all the info, so that they can go and look and analyze it. One-stop shop, boom. That's the way I like to do it. I definitely can text a lot faster than I can talk to people. Hopefully I've made that clear. And then, you've got this going on with everybody that you text. I can't believe it took you 2 weeks to contact me. I mean, why didn't you call me first? Or I can't believe you didn't, call me. How rude. I have that all the time. And my answer to people, if they're irate about me just being blunt and texting them and not even calling them, is I say, you know what? I would love to call you up and chat all day. I just don't have time. I'm sorry. This is, my job, and I've got a million people to reach in order to do what I want to do. And I sent you the same message I sent everybody else. And people usually look at my message and they're like thanking me. So it's a very rare day when I get someone who's irate that I just send them a text message. And most people, if they're producers, they'll appreciate that. So these are real texts that I actually got response. I mean, you can see my message I just showed you. $22 a month. That's it. Pays out $10 a month. Gave them, and I have my link going to my rep website, and that's my personal URL. Scott and I recommend you do that. You can put your mynexusrewards.com/username right there. I mean, if your username was John Cena or your whole name, Bob Brooks, you could make it mynexusrewards.com/Bob Brooks. But you saw with Bob that he had his saveongas.com or whatever link, or Bob's coaching. I don't remember what it was. And you can go with that purchased URL, that purchased domain name. You can forward that to mynexusrewards.com. The thing we like about putting your name in it is people know that you're, number one, that it's real, that it's actually you. Okay. And then number two, that you're committed. So this is not some flash in the pan. Hey, I've got my name going to my website. So now after I sent this message, this is a real response. If this is run right, it could be a gold mine. Who's running it? Who's dispersing money? So he wanted to know about the ownership right there, but that was a great response. By the way, I blew that up just so you could see it a little bit better. If this is run right, it could be a gold mine. I love that response. Here's another one. I really like what I've heard so far. People need relief. Praying this program will provide some comfort. Just fantastic responses. I've got 24 more great responses to my text. A few times I've had people say, I'm in, and I just signed up, something like that. And I just love that too. So there you go. How much time does it take to do 10 texts a day? And then we're done and we'll open it up for questions. 15 minutes. I mean, that's it. I look at, sending 10 texts in a day. It's nothing. Everybody has time to do that. If you can't discipline your schedule to find 15 minutes a day, you're not serious about building a business. How long would it take to call all 10 people that you're sending a text to? Well, if you just got on the phone with 2 of them, you could spend 2 hours. Even if you only spent 15 minutes with each of them, that'd be half an hour right there. You're still way faster texting people. And reality is you ain't even going to get a high percentage of them on a call anyway. You're going to get voicemail or whatever. You're not going to reach them. And so you're just spinning your wheels. No production there. I like to text people and say, hey, I just called you. I leave a voicemail. I just sent you a text. Make sure you check that out right away. Because I know that 80% of people these days do not answer their phone. So it makes it easy. If you text 10 people a day over 30 days, that's 300 a month. If you do, 3 months of that, you've contacted 1,000 people. And when I say you can be the first one to tell 1,000 people about this, I'm not lying right there. Okay. If you contact 1,000 people via text, how many are actually going to look? If you get 10%, you got 100 people looking at your business in 3 months. That's 30 a month. You could easily bring on 5, 10, 15 people in a month. Okay. Now I try to be conservative here. You're getting 20 people out of 1,000. I just showed you on the previous screen. I did way better than that, but whatever, percentage wise. So how many people have you personally enrolled 20 people in? I just gave you the action plan to get 20 people out of 1,000. And you might say, that's awful. And I would say, well, I mean, if you're a veteran in the industry like me, yeah, that's terrible. So, and I haven't even come close to 1,000 people because I've been busy helping people build and, doing 3-ways and doing the webcast and all that. So that's the question right there. How many companies have you personally enrolled? 20. And if you've done it before, you can do it again, and you ought to do it a lot faster here than before. If you've never done it, then my advice is to go focus on 5, getting 5 in, and then building on that and help snowball this thing out. All right, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to take us back to Q&A mode. And as we do all the time, and I see a million comments in the chat, I haven't been able to keep up with them. So if you ask me a question in the chat, if you want to ask it live, you can. What we're going to do is we're going to have everybody raise their hand. We'll do this in an orderly fashion. And then when you raise your hand, you can unmute. Okay. That's the only way we can do this without everybody just blurting out and cutting people off and so forth. So I hope that is reasonable to all. I mean, that's how we've done it for years. And now everybody has the ability to unmute after you raise your hand, then unmute. Before I do that, Pastor Becker, do you have anything you want to share? Because I've been running my mouth for an hour.
Wow, fantastic, John. So much information. And I know for a lot of people, some of that has been new information. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, how do I take all this great stuff that I heard from Bob and all this great stuff that I heard from John and the stuff I heard last week and the stuff I've heard before? I like to use this one cliche: how do you eat an elephant? And the obvious answer is one bite at a time. Maybe you're not going to be able to do all of this stuff. Maybe you're not going to get a chart out just like John's or do as much activity as John has done. Maybe you're not going to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning like Bob and go walk a dog and spend an hour and a half before 6 o'clock doing a bunch of work, but do something. I want you to get those two words in your mind: do something. Take one bite out of that business elephant every day. Getting started is the hardest part for most people. And I want to encourage you to get started. I know we've been long on this call and some people are going to have to go. So before we jump to the Q&A, I want to give you a big, huge, awesome, amazing announcement. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Our Wednesday call this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time is going to be hosted by our incredible 2-star Kim Ward. And Kim is geared up and fired up, and she is ready to share some things with this call. It's going to be her first call that she has been the host of, and I want you to tell everyone to be there. Load that call up with prospects. I want every rep to be on that call. We have broken 100, 150 on Tuesday and Thursday night calls. We've never broken 50 on a Wednesday. And I know for some people it's harder to get on in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, but if you can,
We've only done 2 of them, 3 of them.
Put it on your schedule to be on that Wednesday call this Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Kim is dynamic. She's amazing. She's an incredible leader. She's having incredible success in our opportunity. She is a 2-star in our company, and I want you to be on that call. Let's show our family here at Nexus Rewards lots of support by getting on that call. Now we'll open it up. Anyone with their hand up, let's go ahead and have some Q&A.
Christine, you are the first. Go ahead and unmute.
Hello, this is such an exciting opportunity. I'm really thrilled with this. One of the things I wanted to know, because I'm in Canada, I wanted to know which apps we can use in Canada. I've downloaded Rakuten, but I can't find any other ones.
Yeah, I don't know what else on the free side. I do know that the Benefit Hub, so that's the Nexus Rewards Benefits Hub, is available in Canada. So that would be 2.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey, you're welcome. Thanks for
One
getting
thing
on
to
here.
keep in mind about that, because that is a question that we get a lot, that when John says that there's 2 now. There's 2 currently available, but we have more coming, and we're actually looking at some programs in Canada to add to the opportunity. And if you see something in your country that fits what we do, please feel free to shoot a text. Send a text to support@mynexusrewards.com and say, hey, here's a great app in Zimbabwe. Thought you might like it. And introduce us to some things we might not have seen. But I can tell you for sure, there is more coming for Canada really, really soon.
Fantastic. All right, Day, you're next.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Howdy.
Okay, you can hear me then. Okay, I have a question, and my question is, do I need to sign up for any of the apps before I start sending a link to everybody, or should I sign up for links?
I would take an hour or 10 minutes, however, it depends on how fast you are on the computer, and get registered for all of those apps. I tell everybody, get on your computer to register for them, because on your cell phone, it's a little bit more difficult to find everything. So you can register for everything. You want to get your referral links from registering, and then you want to paste your referral links into your Nexus back office. So what I do is I have one tab or window in my internet browser, and I have that open with my Nexus back office, and then I have the other tab is where I'm going to click through to the links of the apps. Okay. Now the apps. Sorry, I've been chewing gum this whole time. Totally forgot. Sorry about that. The apps actually are all accessible online, except for a fetch. I think is the only one that you have to do on your phone. Yeah, because there's a note, and the company just added this. I think it was yesterday. So kudos to the company. They tell you in red, hey, you have to install this app on your cell phone. And then you want to get your referral links, and there's a PDF, and it walks you through how to do all of this in the PDF, but it's easier again to see that in your computer or laptop if you have to go there. So that's what I recommend doing. When you get your referral link, you copy it and you paste it into the other window of your Nexus back office. And if you take 15 minutes to do that, it's going to be much easier when you recruit somebody and then they go to their back office and get their app set up. You want them clicking on your link instead of, going bypassing you because you didn't put your link in there. That's the long answer. Also, I did a 20-minute video that walks you through that whole process. It's on there. Art Phelps, the co-founder of the company, he did a great one. He's actually done one for each app. So all of that's available to you.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome. Great question. Appreciate that, Day.
You're welcome.
All right. Everett, you are next. Unmute. How are you, sir?
Wonderful, and I hope you are too.
I am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sorry I didn't get a chance to tell Bob thanks. I saw he just put in the chat that he had to run.
He had to roll. He had to go do some IPAs.
Hey, I'm not as organized as he is, and it takes me a little bit more. I'm working on that. But thank you too, Pastor Beckler. I thought I was listening to TD Jakes for a minute. He was get ready.
Awesome.
But I do plan to be on the call to hear Kim again. Try to make as many calls as I can. It'll be a little tougher this week with my grandson here, but we'll do what we can do. That's all I really got to say. I just love getting on here with you guys, and I learn something every time. Every time. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that, Everett. Yeah, thank you for your compliments. Appreciate you. I'm going to answer Sheila's question in the chat box, or I'm going to ask for more information here. I have many emails attached to other business and sites. Can we incorporate all emails? What do you mean by incorporate those emails? If you want to unmute and fire away.
Yes,
Sheila?
hello, John. Good morning, everyone. Blessings.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I have my company email that I use as well, but I have other emails that I use on a daily basis. In order to get compensation, can I incorporate all my emails together? And I don't know how to do that.
When you say incorporate them, what are you trying to do?
Well, I have my Love Beauty email is for the company, but I have other emails. And I know when you use your apps, it's not going to be linked to those emails. So do I have to go through each other companies or each other apps and delete those off of there and make sure it's only this one email?
No, I mean, it's totally up to you what email you want to use. I would make sure you only have one account because you're building up, like with the Upside app, every referral you get, so you want to use one email. for all of your apps. I tell people keep it simple, because if you start doing more than one email, it'll get a little crazy. So if I'm answering your question right, I have one email that I enrolled with at the company, and I use that same email address for all the apps. So did that answer your question?
Yes, I have that on.
Sorry, you muted. Sheila, you're muted. Sheila, you're still muted. Okay.
I might not be doing it correctly, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing everything correctly.
Okay. Well, I think you are. I think you use that, just pick one email and use it.
Okay.
And I think that's the best way to go. Did I answer your question? I want to make sure I got that right.
John, I appreciate that.
Okay.
And wonderful.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. I want to answer Otis's question, and then we'll take Ricky right after that with his hand raised. Otis Brown asked, where can I find the 2-minute, 44-second video, which is dynamite, my favorite video, and it is part of the NXR Builder, and it is on the LP2. LP2 is landing page 2, but I think that's actually landing page 1, but it's labeled LP2 in the link. So you'll find it if you have NXR Builder. It's $4.95 a month, $4.95. So it's an extra $5. That's our big upsell here. That's all you got to do is get the $5 NXR Builder. If you want, it's optional. But that 2-minute, 44-second intro video is narrated by Art Phelps, and he is money every time. When I send people to watch that, at the bottom of that landing page, it's Art Phelps again on a 4-minute follow-up video. When they watch, they at 2:44, and then the 4-minute video, boom, that's it. They got everything they need. There's a lot of other info in between on those pages. And, at that point, I make sure they've seen the flip book. And, there's a couple other videos on other pages in NXR Builder that you can send them to. You can send them to your rep website, and they can, my 1-2 punch, the perfect one is go to the NXR Builder, watch the 2-minute 44, watch the 4-minute video. When you're done with that, go to my rep website, mynexusrewards.com/my username, and then watch the 4-minute video up top. It's, kind of the 2.5 minute elongated. And then make sure you see the 1-minute NXRX prescription video. That's dynamite. And, it's simple. And then the second thing, the last thing on that page is the flip book. And I tell everybody, allocate a good 20, 30 minutes to go through that. And that's it. That's my process that I do with everybody. Awesome. You are welcome. Thank you, sir. All right, Ricky, you are next.
Just a quick question. I have a standing.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, doing great. How are you? Thanks, guys, for the info. I didn't get here until about 10:30 because I have a standing 10 o'clock meeting on Saturday morning. Was the beginning,
okay.
was this presentation recorded so I can see the first part of the training?
It was, and lucky for you because it was fantastic. So you definitely want to go watch the recording. Yeah, we'll post this. We'll put it in the official Nexus Rewards Telegram, so everybody can go and watch it. In fact, I'm going to stop the recording right now.
Recording stopped.
But yeah, great question. And I know there are other people that asked, is this recorded? We get these recordings and post them online with so many recordings. It's out of control. So good question there. Anything else, Ricky?
No, that's it. Appreciate it.
Okay, awesome.
I caught got in at 10:30 and everything else was down. I just need to see the first part of it.
Great. Yeah, Bob went through his Facebook recruiting process, so it was really good. Great question. Thank you for that. Is it possible to get a written copy of the process? All the stuff I just went through, we're going to give this recording so you can see it and you can take screenshots of it as far as text of it, I don't know if we're going to be able to make that available or not. We'll see. That's actually probably a good question. Maybe a reminder. So we'll see. All right. I haven't gone through the chat, so I don't know if we got all of the questions answered on there. Thank you all for the compliments. Hopefully we were helpful today. For those of you that are new, we're rolling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for people that are available during the day and not at night. For people who are outside of the USA, you know, that's evening time for Europe and Africa. And it's, you know, early morning for Asia, but it's a different time. So should be a good meeting time for lots of other people that can't do evening USA time. So, Adrian, I'm answering your question. When you made that online purchase from Best Buy, you don't need to use an e-wallet. If you went through Rakuten and made a purchase with any credit card, they should know it without you doing anything other than checking out after you went through, because they cookie it, you know, they set it up so they've got the access and they know that you went through Rakuten for that purchase. When I got my $30, I went through Sam's Club. And if you don't know what the $30 is, make sure you find out. It's available to everybody on here. I went through Sam's Club. So I went to Rakuten in the app or online. I actually did it on my computer. I logged into Rakuten. Then, you know, it gives you the stores. I didn't search through the stores. I just typed in the search box at the top, Sam's Club, pops right up. It says up to 8% off. That's on the membership. But I just clicked on that. And then I had to log in to my Sam's account. And then I made a $130 purchase of stuff that I just buy all the time. I need to do a video of this. It's so simple. And then I checked out. And then on $130, Rakuten gave me 1%. That's the Sam's Club cashback. So I got $1.30. Woohoo! And you know, no one's doing cartwheels over $1.30, but they gave me the $30 back, and that you get that one time from Rakuten on any $30 purchase from any store in their stable. So, and they have 3,500 national brands. So that's the process there. I don't think I gave them a receipt or anything. I just think I went through Rakuten. So you should get that Best Buy credit automatically from Rakuten.
Yeah, it's
my
not doing
understanding.
it. It's
Go ahead.
yeah, it's not showing up, and Rakuten is still saying, you know, get $30 when you refer or when you know. So I'm still seeing that message.
So something got disconnected when you did the Best Buy purchase, it sounds like. So you may want to, by the way, I submitted a support ticket last week to Rakuten, and they got back to me same day. I was really blown away. I thought for sure they'd have a long response time. Send them a support ticket and say, hey, I made this purchase through Best Buy on such and such a day. I bet they can track it. And they can say, yeah, here's why it didn't count, or, oh, it should have counted. Let's give you credit. So
Okay, so does it usually happen right away, or is there like a couple days delay?
I expected them to take a while to respond. They got back to me the same day. I mean, it was like 2 hours later. I was really impressed.
I meant when you make the purchase, like when you made your purchase from Sam's.
When you make the purchase, it will verify that you just made a purchase in a cashback situation. And then it will say allow 24 or 48 hours, 42 to 72 hours. I don't know if it's 2 days or what. I haven't used it enough. Shame on me. But someone else on here can probably tell you. but they will give you some type of indication. And then you'll see an email that says, congratulations, you just got $1.30 back on your, 1% Sam's Club cash back.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Sure. Yeah. Sorry I didn't have a better answer for you, but definitely submit a ticket to Rakuten and see what happens. Latika, great question. Yes, the company will email out the schedule for the week, and usually they send out a reminder email. They didn't do that this week because they had somebody was out of town. Somebody was traveling. So that normally will happen. But yeah, we get an email usually on Monday saying, hey, we got these great meetings Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think they're going to have that schedule posted in the back office soon. Okay. Request Whitefire, yes. I will. You can do some 3-ways with me. No problem. I recommend everybody. This actually is helpful for everyone. I recommend everybody watch the videos first before you put them on our webcast, before you put them on a 3-way. Get them to watch the video first. Because if they don't, then I'm doing everything the video is supposed to do. And that's not good use of my time. So I definitely recommend that. Yeah, thank you, Carla. I agree. Their customer service is dynamite. And Bruce just verified the schedule is in the members area. I think that's the business homepage when you say the members area, right? There you go. Scott just gave you the schedule in the chat box. Okay, great. Yeah, set reminders on your phone or calendar. I mean, my Google Calendar is set with Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday meetings for these times, until I turn it off. So Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, Nexus training, boom. That's on the calendar indefinitely. So put it on your calendar. And then, of course, you can have your calendar give you reminders. Good stuff. I'm just scrolling through the chat box. All right, we've gone way longer than we're allowed to. I'm just kidding. No, we haven't even gone 2 hours. We've done meetings where we've been in the meeting for 3 or 4 hours. But we don't have to do that here. Yeah, Google Calendar. I mean, it's free. I've been using it for a decade and a half. My entire life is on there. And you can back it up. So I don't recommend throwing everything on Google and not backing it up. Google Contacts, back it up. Have it on your laptop, have it on your desktop, have it on your, hard drive. You want to save all those names. Crazy if you don't. How are the number of groups created? Ray, if you want to unmute and ask that question, I'm not sure you're asking the number of groups. Like Pro 25, that group would be created by you enrolling somebody who goes and gets their 5. And if you get 5 people who get their 5, boom, you got 25. That's how you create that downline, if that's what you're asking about.
Hey, John.
Great. Yes. Hey, Melvin, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Where do you get a copy of the message you find the best to text?
I will paste it right in here to the chat box. How about that? Will that do?
To the chat box?
Yeah, right in here in our little Zoom.
I'm having a problem finding the chat box.
No worries. I'll leave it up there long enough for you to find it. It's in your menu of Zoom, and there should be a long list: mute, stop video, start video, security, participants. Chat's in there somewhere. You might have to hit your more button, and then might be hiding in there. Or if you're on your phone, yeah, it's almost always in the more button on your phone.
Okay,
We'll
thank you.
wait
I'll
for you to
find it.
find it. Okay. I mean, if you can't find it, we'll help you.
Thanks, John.
Sure, my pleasure. Definitely got to know where the chat box is on here, everybody. If you don't know where it is, find it. Because that chat box, there's like 200 messages in there since we started this call. So, there's a lot of good info flow on that chat box. Gotta love that. All right, anybody else? Sounds like we did everybody right today. Pastor Scott, thank you so much for all your help here. Thank you to Bob, even though he bolted.
Hey, John,
Y'all are awesome.
Can you see Jessica's question in the chat?
Thank you, Ursula. No, I did not, but fire away, Bruce. You got it?
It's just above what you posted of the write-up there. You said, what can we tell people, right? You see that.
Yeah, if they want to know how we get paid for sharing apps that already have their own rewards program. Here's the mindset, and you actually need to master this. This is a biggie because you're going to get this all the time. These are free apps. What's the big deal? And Nexus is acting like they own them? No, not at all. We tell people up front, hey, these are third-party apps, but we bundled them. And the magic, because we bundled them, you can make a lot more money with the bundle. And it's not just on the free apps. We also have a couple paid apps that you can't get for free. You can't just go onto the App Store and get them. So when we bundle all this together, it adds up to a lot more money. That's the magic right there. Sure, I can go get Upside. I mean, they advertise it on my YouTube phone. When I watch a YouTube video on my phone, they advertise nonstop. It's like every other day I see an Upside ad, and yeah, I could go get that, and I could use it, and I could save $20 a month, $30 a month, something like that, and I can go refer people to it. Is it enough money to justify me spending time exclusively on promoting Upside? No, it's not. That'd be no different than if I was selling baseball cards, or I went and set up a garage sale every other weekend. It's not enough money for it to be a real business. With Nexus, it is. That's the magic of the bundle. Now, look, if you've already got an Upside app installed and a referral link, you don't have to re-sign up for it. Take your referral link that you already had in place and paste it in onto the Nexus back office, and that will be your referral link that you'll get credit for. Sometimes Upside offers $7 per referral. You want to go get 10 right away, right? And you can make, again, a little bit of money here and there. So, great question, but you need to master that, and you need to be able to answer it very quickly, because if people throw that objection out there, I want to be able to knock that out of the park right away. Like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. And I've mentioned this every call that I do Tuesday, Thursday, because it's so vital to you being able to recruit and build with this business. Why are we offering free apps? It's the bundle. It's also the change in the mindset, the mentality. Hey, when I go out the door, before I do that, am I going to fill up for gas? Boom, I'm going to use the Upside app. Am I going to go to a restaurant? I want to use Upside or Rakuten, or find a discount online. Am I going to Macy's or JCP? I want to find a discount for those things. Am I, shopping car insurance? Am I shopping for a new car? I want to use the benefit hub before I do that. So hopefully I answered that question right there, because that is a biggie. It will definitely come up. And look, any question that you're thinking in your head, everybody else is too. And if you don't have a good answer for that, get one before you get on the phone with prospects. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting there like, and you got run over by a freight train because you're just standing there on the track. And we don't want that. We want everybody to be prepared with handling of the objections. Thank you. Appreciate all your comments. All right, Latika, you are next. Go ahead and unmute.
So if I already have because I got the Get Upside app I had for a while, how do my sponsor get credit for what I do if I already had the app?
Yeah, your sponsor won't get credit if you already had it and you use a referral link that you had prior to Nexus. So they won't get credit. And, we'll feel bad for them for about, 10 seconds. And then we'll go and we will say, hey, but they're getting credit on, the other apps that give you referral fees. And they're getting $10, or you're getting $10 when you personally enroll them out of their 22.
Okay, so you have to have the
And
referral link in
hopefully that
order for
makes
them
sense.
to get credit.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And that's why I tell everybody, when you're brand new, before you start promoting this, get your referral links in place in your Nexus back office. Got to do that. Now, look, my first day, I brought 10 people in. I didn't even take the time to set up my apps. So all 10 of those people, I lost, I think 3 or 4 of them actually did what they're supposed to, even though I didn't. And they went and set up their apps and I didn't get credit for them. Again, boo-hoo. So I missed out on that little bit, but the next 50 I got. So I'm doing okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Great question. Yeah, check your business before buying anything. See if you can save money on that. Awesome. Appreciate all the compliments. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and we will see you all on the Tuesday meeting. Thank you so much, everybody. Oh, got one more thing here. Yes, this is another great question everyone can benefit from. So great question there. You can change your username to anything you want. It's in the back office. Go down to my profile or account or whatever under there, and you'll see it. It'll say you change your username and or account settings somewhere there. And yeah, I mean, use a name that people are going to be able to spell. That's the biggest thing, and that it's easy for them to remember. My nexusrewards.com / Engelbert Humperdinck is going to be really tough. Probably not advisable. So, my nexusrewards.com / Fred Brown, much better. So we definitely want it to be easy. And if you are Fred Brown and you go get fredbrown.com or .us or fredjbrown.com, whatever, and then that is your username and it's your link that you give everybody, go to fredjbrown.com, go to johncena.com, whatever. And that's how I recommend everybody do it for sure. Yeah, you'll spend $10 or whatever, $20 on the domain registration. So, and there's 20 different domain registers out there. They're all good and they're all heavily regulated. So, they're usually not dealing with any slimy companies when you go register a domain name.
I'm not sure if that was the question or if it was about changing their name that they joined with. So until the form is updated, people can change. They can join with their regular name, their personal name, and then change to a business name for having their business be a rep of Nexus Rewards. Or if they're a charitable organization, they can change to their church name, et cetera. That can also be changed after they join. At some point, I suggested it to Rob a while ago. So it's on the to-do list, but their to-do list is long. So who knows when it'll show up that people can sign up in a business with a business EIN or a church organization, nonprofit. That's coming, but probably not for a while. So they can change that name also in the members area.
Very well said. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Outstanding. All right. Yes, keep it. That's great. I'm just responding to a direct message.
Sure.
Says good morning.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Sorry, Bob.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. You guys appreciate all the comments. We will see you on Tuesday. Have a great day. Thank you for all the compliments. See y'all, everybody.
Good stuff.
Stay safe and God bless.
Amen.